Lagertha was born in a small village in Norway, surrounded by a valley and mountains. Her childhood was spent preparing for battle and surviving the harsh elements of nature. She grew up with a desire to be both a girl and a warrior. Her parents not only taught her the importance of physical strength, but also instilled in her the power of courage and determination. In the village, all the men were warriors, and the women were known to be partners in managing the household. However, Lagertha's life was different. Her parents, seeing her desire to participate in battles, always supported her and gave her whatever she needed. One day, the leader of a neighboring tribe came to their village and issued a challenge. This challenge was not only a struggle over territory, but would also determine the importance and strength of their village. Lagertha decided to defend her village's honor with pride. For her, this battle was not just a fight, it was a real test of her place as a woman. The men of the village were ready to fight, but Lagertha did not want to stay behind just because she was a woman. She wanted to be a warrior. The other women of the village saw her as a brave leader, and this inspired Lagertha even more. Her heart was ready for battle, but it was also a chance to prove her strength and worth to her community. A few days later, the battle was about to begin. Lagertha put on her warrior costume and stepped onto the battlefield. Everyone knew her as the village's woman, but now she was preparing to fight for a bigger purpose. Being a warrior was not just about wielding a knife or sword, but about carrying unity, leadership, and a sense of unshakable determination within her. When the battle began, everything turned out to be far more different than expected. As Lagertha faced the enemy, she found her strength not only in her body, but also in her will. It was her first time in battle, but already with every move she felt strong. Her courage helped her not just on the battlefield, but also in securing the future of her village. Everyone could see how brave and determined she was. Throughout the battle, Lagertha's actions and decisions changed the course of the fight. The men of the village stood behind her, respecting her leadership. Together with her team, Lagertha fought back the enemy. She wasn't just fighting for her village, but also to ensure that women had equal rights on the battlefield. This battle marked a moment where she not only solidified her place as a warrior, but also as a strong female leader. At the end of the battle, Lagertha won a great victory. When she returned to her village, everyone welcomed her as a great hero. She was now known not only as a woman, but also as a powerful leader and a brave warrior. The women of the village began to follow her, finding their own strength. Lagertha used her victory on the battlefield not only to immortalize her name, but also the names of all women in history. She didn't stop at just winning. She proved the strength of women to the world. At the end of the battle, Lagertha became not only a warrior, but also a symbol. Her name was no longer known only in Norway, but throughout Scandinavia. By demonstrating that women and men had equal rights to fight, lead, and hold a place in life, she ushered in a new era.
Lagertha's first victory was just the beginning. She was no longer only recognized as a warrior in her village, but also throughout many parts of Scandinavia. However, each victory brought new struggles and challenges. After her success on the battlefield, Lagertha began to protect not only her village's future, but also that of all Norway. Her name was now being remembered not just as a female warrior, but as a great leader. As Lagertha's fame grew, she had to work even harder to develop her leadership skills. Many warriors admired her not only for her physical strength, but also for her strategic thinking abilities. She always inspired her fighters, teaching them how to fight and how to win. Lagertha's leadership was not just a display of power, but also about instilling confidence and strength in others. She led not only on the battlefield, but in all aspects of life. One day, Lagertha and her team set out to confront a large enemy army in the western part of Scandinavia. This battle was not only a fight over land, but also a challenge from one of the region's most powerful leaders, Ketil. Ketil had terrified everyone in his tribe, conquering surrounding territories and amassing great power. Facing him would not only mean fighting, but also testing Lagertha's leadership skills and protecting her reputation. Lagertha, along with her team, prepared thoroughly for this battle. She analyzed Ketil's tactics and practiced with her warriors to find the enemy's weak points. Lagertha applied not only her physical strength, but also her strategic thinking to enhance their battle plan and defeat the enemy. She and her team were able to overcome the psychological battle and come out victorious. On the day of the battle, things did not go according to plan. The enemy was stronger and better equipped than expected. However, Lagertha, as always, remained calm, even in the toughest moments. Despite the enemy's overwhelming numbers, the unity of Lagertha's team and her leadership allowed them to win the battle, though it was long and difficult. In the end, Ketil's army retreated, and Lagertha once again proved her leadership and combat abilities. This battle demonstrated Lagertha's bravery not only as a warrior, but also as a great strategist. She tested her leadership, showing every warrior in her command what true leadership meant. Lagertha's victory not only solidified her name, but also the name of a female leader who united and led all of Scandinavia. After the battle, Lagertha and her team returned from the battlefield, and many tribes and villages gathered around them. They applauded Lagertha's leadership and bravery. She had become a recognized figure not only in Norway, but across all of Scandinavia. Each victory she won in battle further solidified her name and helped her gain her rightful place, not only on the battlefield, but also within society. However, Lagertha never sought to benefit solely from her battles and victories. She wanted to use each victory to further the welfare and future of her community. Every battle she fought was a step not only towards the betterment of her village, but for the growth and unity of all of Scandinavia. Lagertha's goal was not just to win on the battlefield, but also to lead, show others the way, and give them confidence. She was no longer just a woman, but a symbol of her community and history. This victory was not only a testament to Lagertha's position as a warrior, but also as a great leader. Her name was no longer only that of a warrior, but also of someone who showcased the power and leadership of women to the world. Lagertha became a leader who left her mark on history, and her name will forever inspire future generations.
After her victories in battle, Lagertha experienced a transformation not only on the battlefield, but also within her inner world. She had always been strong through leadership, but she felt an emptiness inside her. Her victories had earned her recognition in the external world, but in her heart, she wanted to find her place and grow stronger. Lagertha's greatest struggle was not only in the battlefield, but also in how to balance her love and life. The fame she gained on the battlefield was no simple achievement. Each victory brought her one step closer to her greater purpose. However, with each victory, the emptiness inside her grew more prominent. Lagertha realized that leadership and being a warrior were not only about physical strength, but also about how to present herself to others. She knew she had to find her place in her personal life, even though she was a great leader on the battlefield. One day, after a battle with Ragnar, Lagertha decided to openly express these feelings to him. She was no longer just a warrior. She was beginning to understand her emotions as a woman. Ragnar understood her determination and strength very well, but he also explained that life was not just about battles, and that love and friendship were important. Ragnar wanted Lagertha to be strong not only on the battlefield, but also in her family and love life. This conversation marked a turning point in Lagertha's life. She no longer only sought victories in battle, she also tried to find balance in other areas of her life. Lagertha understood that being strong as a woman and a warrior meant understanding the balance between both. Her relationship with Ragnar became the key to understanding her emotions and learning how to balance love with leadership. At first, Lagertha tried to fill the emptiness left after battles by focusing on other things. But she realized that these voids could only be filled by building relationships with others and restoring her inner calm. She understood that her strength should be found not only in victories on the battlefield, but also in life. The foundation of everything was to give love to others,
to build mutual understanding and to actually increase the strength of others. Every victory Lagertha achieved was not just a battle, but also a way to show herself to others and grow together with them. She understood how to find her power through relationships, whether in battle, family, friendship, or love. Her connection with Ragnar showed her a new path, not just in combat, but in all other aspects of life. For Lagertha, love was not only about victories in battle, love was also about influencing others, building connections, empowering others, and simultaneously understanding oneself. With these emotions, Lagertha entered a phase where she started to discover her strength not only as a warrior, but also as a leader. A new understanding was forming in her life. Just like in the battlefield, mutual support and love were vital for success in life as well. Lagertha's strength in battle stemmed not only from her physical power, but also from her inner strength. She was trying to find balance in all aspects of her life as both a warrior and a woman. This inner journey helped her not only as a leader, but also in forming relationships based on love and calmness among people. Her relationship with Ragnar taught her not only to find her place, but also to understand others' places. She had to learn to succeed not only in battles, but also in other areas of life. Lagertha was no longer just a female warrior. She was a leader trying to understand her life and relationships. She realized that life was not only measured by physical strength in battles, but also by inner strength and love.
After her victories in battle, Lagertha was beginning to write her name in history, not just as a warrior, but as a leader of her entire community. Her bravery on the battlefield, both her physical strength and strategic thinking, always drew attention. In every battle, Lagertha demonstrated not only her strength, but also her experience and leadership skills, inspiring those around her and instilling confidence in her warriors. Her goal was not just to win, but also to ensure that her community would unite strongly. A few years later, Lagertha was about to face her greatest challenge. The strongest enemy tribe in Scandinavia had formed a difficult alliance and began conquering all surrounding territories. This time, the battle would not only be for land, but for the future of the entire community. The enemy leader, an elderly and experienced warrior named Egil, was famous for never having lost a battle. He had turned his tribe into a powerful force, conquering surrounding lands and aiming to dominate all of Scandinavia. Lagertha knew that this time she was not only fighting for her warriors, but also for the future of all of Norway. She realized that she had to prove herself not only as a warrior, but also as a leader and strategist. Her goal was not just to win, but to unite Scandinavia and protect her people. Each warrior respected Lagertha's leadership and strategy and took pride in fighting alongside her. However, this battle would be unlike any she had faced before. It was far more difficult and complex. As always, Lagertha prepared for battle not only physically, but also psychologically. She met with her team and explained everyone's role and the battle plan. She knew that winning this battle required not just physical strength, but unity, experience, and the power of leadership. Lagertha taught each warrior not just how to fight, but also how to unite and fight for a common goal. When the battle began, things did not go as planned. Egil's army, with a larger number of warriors, launched a counterattack, putting pressure on Lagertha's forces. But Lagertha, as always, refused to lose hope. She inspired her team with great strength and confidence, slowly pushing the enemy back. Her strategic thinking and calmness in battle were highly valued by her warriors. Lagertha gave her fighters clear direction, ensuring the battle moved toward victory. After several hours of fighting, Lagertha's team defeated Egil's army, forcing them to retreat. That day, Lagertha etched her name in history, not only as a warrior and leader, but also as a strategist. She had created an influence that changed not only the course of the battle, but also the lives of many. This battle was not only about defeating the strongest tribe in Scandinavia, but also about changing the leadership paradigm within her society. At the end of the battle, Lagertha and her team celebrated their victory. But this victory was not just a physical struggle, it was also an internal battle. Lagertha understood that winning was not just about triumphing in battle, but also about inner strength and leadership. She always fought to win, but she also knew that there was a higher purpose behind this victory, to protect her community and lead future generations.
After her victories on the battlefield, Lagertha used each victory to take another step forward and change the lives of both herself and those around her. However, over time, she realized that merely winning battles was not enough. Lagertha's greatest transformation was not only the victories she achieved on the battlefield, but also her understanding of inner peace and true leadership. Lagertha had already become not just a warrior who carved her name in history, but a symbol who united her people through her bravery and leadership. However, she felt that these victories had also brought about a transformation, not only in the external world, but within herself. Her understanding of leadership was no longer just about being strong, but also about empowering others and showing them the way. Lagertha now understood the importance of not only physical strength, but also inner strength and peace, and she worked to instill this within her community. Many warriors saw her as a symbol of power and bravery, but Lagertha wanted to use her strength not only for her own goals, but also to build a better future for her people. She had felt in every battle how important it was for people to come together and support one another. Her leadership was measured not only by victories on the battlefield, but also by the love and respect among every member of her community. Lagertha had learned how to lead others, how to inspire confidence, and how to build a strong community. This transformation in her life showed her that being a warrior was not enough. She needed to be a leader and a teacher as well. She now wanted to succeed not just on the battlefield, but in every aspect of life. In everything she did, the foundation was serving others, empowering them, and leading them forward. Lagertha's legacy could not be measured by the victories she achieved on the battlefield alone. Her name became an eternal symbol, not only in Norway, but throughout Scandinavia. By always proving the strength, determination, and leadership of women, she brought a new understanding to communities. Lagertha's life was not only about battles, but also about leadership and the values of humanity that she passed on as a legacy. She never focused solely on her own goals in life. Lagertha used each victory she achieved in battle to show others the way and lead them. She fought not just in battles, but to ensure that every individual in her community found their place. Lagertha's life was not just about winning on the battlefield, but also about every individual finding their own place and living in mutual respect. In her later years, Lagertha dedicated her life not just to fighting, but to improving people's lives and teaching them how to lead. Her name would be remembered not only as a warrior and leader, but also as a symbol of female leadership in an entire era. She triumphed not only on the battlefield, but also in the most challenging moments of life. Lagertha's legacy will live on as a symbol not just of a hero of her time, but also as an inspiration for future generations. Lagertha's life and legacy became a story showing the power, leadership, and unity of women in society. She was a woman who succeeded not only on the battlefield, but in every area of life. Lagertha left her mark on future generations, showing them her determination. Her name will always be remembered as both a warrior and a leader, a symbol of the perseverance and strength of women.